Matt, you're doing minicamp next week.
We are.
Right? And then there's going to be a week of OTA after that.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of what we've done that in the past. I believe we did it last year as well. It's just for some of those vets that have, been here the whole time. I think it allows them to get out, and then you can kind of focus on some of the younger players, and I think it's great because now the younger players have been through basically all the installs, and then you can give them just the majority of those reps.
Are you going to have joint practices out in Pittsburgh or Denver?
No, that's not in the plans as of right now.
Could that change, or have you decided?
Potentially, I haven't talked to Mike or Sean. One of the things I think, one of the challenges is when you have a night game, you're just somewhere for a really long time. So I think we experienced that 2 years ago when we went out to Denver. Again, I'd never shut the door on anything, but it would just have to work out from a schematic or from a logistical standpoint.
But for Arizona, when they're here, will you have joint practices?
We are, yes. Unless my brother pulls a fast one on me, which I wouldn't put it past him either.
Is Josh practicing today?
He'll be out there today.
Has any of that been a distraction, or is it business as usual?
I would say business as usual.
How's Brandon Cisse looked in his 5 practices that you guys have had?
Well, I think I heard Dan Campbell talk about these guys in pajamas. So until you get the pads, you never truly know. But in terms of just athletically, there's no doubt he's got the skill set. That's pretty evident. Like I would say when he was coming out in the draft, and then just the attitude, the effort, the preparation, the things that he's in control of. I think he's done an outstanding job. I think he had a great play yesterday as a cloud corner. So I think he's doing a lot of good things.
But that is somewhat real in corner and receiver, isn't it? I mean, it's not, you can't do bump and all that kind of stuff.
Kind of
real-ish, right?
Real-ish, I would say. Ultimately, you want to see if, I guess every situation is a little bit different, but how are they going to fit in the run support? And, that's something that you really don't know.
Hey, Matt, now that X and Evan have been together for a couple years in that back end, what do you like best about just how they work as a tandem and what they bring you as a duo?
Yeah, I would say I'd throw Bull in there too. All three of those guys, just number one, they've got experience. I think they're all really smart, and they do a great job of communicating with one another. And they run the show on the back end. So I think just that continuity of those three dudes will be big for us.
For that minicamp next week, are you planning to practice all 3 days, or will there be like a bonding activity?
I'm not letting the cat out the bag, but our players should prepare for 3 consecutive days. I kind of want to do it similar to how we do a regular season, a normal install, with Wednesday being your primary first and second down. The Thursday practice, which would be Wednesday, would be more dedicated to your passing situations, your third down, your 2-minute, and then the last day, the final day, will be down in the red area.
Matt, last year the big trade for Micah here. What sort of impact did that make? And when you see your buddy Sean go and get Miles Garrett, what do you think that does for the Henderson boys?
Yeah, as far as Micah, he's in the building, so that was great to see him yesterday and to see where he's at in that process. But he's been as advertised in terms of the player and then as a leader on this football team. So I couldn't be more excited than to have a guy like that. And as far as those other guys, I'm not. That's out of my control. That's out of my worry. So I'm going to focus on our guys.
Matt, where's Micah in his process?
Well, that's a great question for the doctors and trainers, but for my eyes, he looks pretty good.
Jordan Morgan's moved around for you guys as needed. How has he, reacclimated to a degree to the left tackle?
He's done an outstanding job. Again, these guys aren't in pads, so you can't get the full effect of exactly how they're going to be, but, we're really pleased on what we've seen thus far.
Marshall not doing team last week, was there a setback, or was that more precautionary?
No, it was precautionary. So he'll be out there today.
You obviously lost a couple leads.
Excuse me, Bill?
Is there anything that you can do on the practice field to be better closers, or is that something just has to happen in a game like this? How do you?
I think that's been the forefront of our mind in terms of being able to finish, and like I talked to the team about, just every facet of whether it's drill work or whether it's a team period. I mean, that's got to be at the forefront of our mind.
Matt, you mentioned veterans who have been here. What has it meant to have those two guys on defense, Hargrave and Zaire Franklin here, and just being around your guys? What impact have they had?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, both those guys have played a lot of football. Obviously, Z was a captain in Indy, and you can see why, because you can feel his presence. But having Hargrave in the mix, a guy that I've got a lot of respect for, having gone against, and then you start to get to know him as a person, and it's not a surprise to why he's had so much success.
Matt, Vrabel was telling us a couple weeks ago about Matthew Golden's approach since he got back. What have you seen from him, and how ready do you think he is for an expansion?
Yeah, I think all those guys have come in and done an outstanding job just trying to focus in on the detail. I think there's a big step for guys coming into this league going into year two, and we expect that to happen, and I think we've seen a lot of that out on the practice field.
Sticking with receivers, what have been your early observations working with Noah, Pauly, and just?
Oh man, he's super impressive. Really smart guy. Has a great demeanor about himself. I think the guys really have bought into him. He's a worker. He'll grind. So yeah, I've been really happy with him.
Did you know him at all before the Bill Walsh internship?
I did not.
Just how beneficial has that program been?
Oh, it's been.
17 this time.
Yeah, I mean, we try to bring a lot of different guys in here and just get exposed to different guys. We've hired quite a few people that have gone through that program with us, so I think it's a great opportunity for us to evaluate over the course of they're here about 2 weeks and just see how they conduct themselves as people, and then you kind of dig into the football aspect of that. So I've been really happy with that program.
Now, when you're putting together your coaching staff, and obviously Jonathan had a lot to do with who he added on defense, but do you have like kind of a thought in your mind of like Babich is a high energy kind of guy, and do you want different types of personalities? How do you kind of approach that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can never have enough energy out here. So, and all those guys have done a great job with that. But I do think when you hire a staff, it's similar to putting a puzzle together, and you got to make sure the pieces fit. And we're fortunate. I just being around these guys, got a lot of trust. I mean, typically you rely on people in the business that you're closest with, that have worked with somebody, just to get a true feel of. I just want to make sure that they fit from a cultural standpoint first and foremost. I've said it many times before. You hire the person first, the coach second.
Is Slow back at receiver full time, or will he still do some corner work?
Is who?
Paul Melton.
Yeah, he's been at receiver.
Do you anticipate him doing any
Last
corner,
two?
or is that going to be full time now for him?
No, I would anticipate him sticking with wide receiver. He's really made a lot of progress too. I think, just his ability to go attack the football. Certainly, he's made a lot of plays for us, but I think he's improved. I think you can tell he's put in work from the time the season ended to where we're at now, and showing some of the things that we wanted to see him improve upon.
This is probably a better question for the middle of August, but individually.
Well, then ask it in August.
Well, because I got asked today. Do you have enough individuals to get over the pass rush wise without, if Micah's gone for 2 games or 4 games or whatever it is?
Yeah, I mean, I think all that stuff will play out once we get pads on and you watch a lot of these young guys develop. But the guys are working, and that's what I'm most pleased about. Like, the attitude's been outstanding. The energy in our building has been outstanding. Granted, we haven't faced much adversity, but the guys come in ready to work with the right mindset.